Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Zanker. Welcome to the Texas Journal Christian Message. If you want to know why our culture is collapsing, look at our open borders. Today, we bridge the gap between biblical order and national survival. After the message, learn what you can do to secure our borders and future at davepreachestruth.com. I say again, davepreachestruth.com. The modern political discourse surrounding our borders is often characterized by a profound lack of theological depth. Christians are told to view the human migration crisis strictly through a lens of sentimental humanitarianism, stripped of all historical, moral, or biblical context. Wrong. As Christians, we must reject the notion that we are called to be passive while the boundaries of our nation are dissolved. To ignore the significance of the border is to ignore the very architecture of God's creation. The theology of the border begins at the beginning. In Acts 17:26, we are told that God made from one man every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling place. These are not merely arbitrary political lines drawn on a map by bureaucrats. They are divine decrees. God is a God of order, not of confusion, and He established nations with distinct identities, languages, and territories as a means of managing the fallen human condition. A nation is an extension of the family. Just as a father has the God-given authority and duty to define the physical boundaries of his home to protect those within, a nation has the moral obligation to secure its territory. A home without a door, a home that refuses to distinguish between those who belong to the family and those who are strangers, is not a sanctuary but a ruin. When we abandon the border, we are not practicing Christian charity, we are abandoning our stewardship. We are failing to protect the inheritance entrusted to us by our ancestors for our posterity. Scripture is replete with examples of the importance of walls, gates, and the integrity of a people's land. Nehemiah did not view the rebuilding of the walls of Jerusalem as an act of hostility toward the surrounding tribes. He viewed it as a prerequisite for the survival of the covenant people. Walls define a civilization. They provide the necessary enclosure within which faith can be passed down, culture can be cultivated, and a distinct people can honor the Lord without the constant, chaotic dilution of their national character. To advocate for open or porous borders is to advocate for the dismantling of the law. A state that cannot define who enters its territory ceases to be a state because it has abdicated the most fundamental aspect of sovereignty, the ability to protect its own people. When the gate is left wide open, the law is rendered ineffective, the social contract is broken, and the local community is subjected to the whims of forces it cannot control. We cannot extend mercy to the world if we have allowed our own house to become uninhabitable. We are witnesses to an era of deliberate national dispossession. Those who hate the heritage of this land and desire to see the erasure of Western Christian civilization know exactly what they are doing. They understand that by removing the border, they remove the distinction between us and them, effectively turning our nation into a rootless, incoherent collection of individuals who share no common faith, blood, or history. Too many Christian clergy don't understand Scripture. I've seen Christian clergy wave their arms in an insane invitation to an invasion. I've seen Christian clergy directly assist the relocation of 70,000 Afghans, at least 10% of which were known jihadi. They're here for domination, not assimilation. You know how we know. They said so as they were debarking the aircraft in America. This brings us to the most urgent truth of our moment. For too long, the Christian church has played the fool. They've been paid by NGOs and others to move an invading army into the United States. Feckless clergy are only too willing to comply. Dominion was the first mandate given to man. It is a mandate that requires strength, vigilance, and the recognition that we are accountable to the King of Kings for how we steward the territory He has placed in our care. We must stop apologizing for wanting to maintain the integrity of our nation. If we do not take dominion, the inheritance of our children will be stolen. Rise up, secure the gate, and take your place as the stewards God intended you to be. You've been listening to the Texas Journal Christian Message. Someone is going to rule this land. It must be those who serve Christ. Join the effort at davepreachestruth.com. This is Dave Zanker signing off.